And welcome back, ready for the second half. We're underway, Mexico going left to right. Glad you could join us for the 2007 Gold Cup Final. Max Bretos and Christopher Sullivan along with you. Mark Rogandino down by the pitch. He's given us an update, and we'll let you know what he's told us. And Mark alluded to us that there's a change for the U.S. Ricardo Clark comes in. Pablo Mastroeni coming out.
Yeah, and it could have been Feilhaber or Mastroeni. They take out Mastroeni. I think what they want with Ricardo Clark is to inject a little bit of energy, speed. One of the areas, Max, I think where they did suffer was Mastroeni was the one that always, which I think is good, he pressures and takes the initiative in pressuring getting forward, but Feilhaber was lateral or kind of flat with him. So nobody was able to track behind and cover and had that type of speed with a player like Neri Castillo. Now you get that with Ricardo Clark, where he can make that 20, 30-yard run to cover up and track.
It sounds like a lot of work for Ricardo Clark, but they needed someone there in that midfield to recuperate, and it's going to be Clark who's up to the task as he gets cap number 7, a native of Jonesboro, Georgia, and a member of the Houston Dynamo, who will also be part of that Copa America squad. 1-0 Mexico at the half. We are underway in half number 2. It's becoming a glorious afternoon here in Chicago. This is a great venue for soccer. When they redid Soldier Field, they certainly had this sport in mind with the dimensions. Of course, they have Toyota Park, also down the home of the Chicago Fire. All right, let's send it down to Mark Rogandino for more on the substitution.
Well, yeah, just to reiterate what you said earlier, Max, Pablo Mastroeni out, and I asked him if it was an injury or anything along those lines. He said no, just a tactical change. He'd like to get some fresh legs in there in Ricardo Clark to work hard there in the midfield. Max?
And right on cue, Mark, it is Clark surging forward. Donovan is wide. His cross has a chance for Ching. Sanchez punches. The shot from range. The follow-up from Dempsey. And it's Sanchez, Sanchez, and more Sanchez. Oh, boy. The good news, the U.S. are primed and ready to get an equalizer. The bad news is, how are they going to beat this guy?
Well, that's the way you want to come out in the second half. You had a great cross from Donovan. Ching challenged well against Sanchez, and again, you get a deflection down at the feet. One strike, and another one from Dempsey. He just can't get it by Sanchez so far.
What a cross by Donovan. It looked like he overcooked it, but then it started to dip. Here's Bravo. And this is Castillo, who's caused all sorts of problems. He's in the 18. Tries to shoot it, took himself out of position. Ching on the near side. There are U.S. bodies. Feilhaber. Again, as we alluded to in the semifinals, approached by Andreas Herzog to perhaps represent Austria, the land of his fathers. And he waited for his chance for the U.S., and it has arrived. Guardado. Cut out by Spector. Good win and a nice dummy to get through to the midfield. Dempsey. Both teams have made one substitution, injury-related one at the end of the first half. Borghetti replaced by Bravo. It's Castillo taken away by Clark, who's made a nice impact already. Donovan is going to try and draw out Magallon to the midfield. Beasley, pardon me. Beasley from nearby Fort Wayne, a couple hours drive from Chicago.
We were seeing earlier Ricardo Clark, when he comes in, what he's done, he's worked in a zone of about 60, 70 yards, getting forward, surging with the ball through the middle, getting back in his own box to box. That's what you need in this game in the center of the field.
Donovan. Dempsey gets it back to Donovan. Dempsey with the initiative. Backing off of him was Pardo. Dempsey to the byline. Gets the cross in. Donovan almost there. Guardado. Wide open second half here. Plenty of running for everyone. Boca Negra. He used to play here on Soldier Field in his days with the Chicago Fire before moving to Fulham. And a well-deserved applause for Osvaldo Sanchez.
And this is the way you want to come out if you're the United States. First 5 minutes, a couple attacks, taking the initiative, getting forward. Got to be careful because Bornstein's trying to get advanced into the attack, and you got Omar Bravo in that area who can also take off. See the last chance here, the first strike, deflection, gets back up. Dempsey's right in front of him, just can't put it. He was trying to pinpoint, but just pick out a corner. Great work from Sanchez.
Onside, bravo! Howard taps it away. Not sure if that was on its way in, but Tim Howard not leaving anything to chance. Does lead.
Good ball from Pardo right here. Now you're going to see the hesitation and a pause. Howard does well, again, just to read it, hold his ground and not guess and try to go to the far post.
Corner kick, Mexico. Pardo. No Borghetti, so that's good news for the U.S., but what a shot from Neri Castillo. What a talent.
Yeah, he's been on all day today. Again, see the deflection right here. Not cleared well. Strikes it first time, European style. He plays in Greece. He's used to that. And you see Howard had it covered.
Ching couldn't come up with it clean. A mess in the back for Mexico. Dempsey tries to set through Ching, but now it's on the feet of Pardo. Castillo, he's just oozing with confidence. Bocanegra's trying to take some of that confidence away. He can't there. Onyewu, Landon Donovan, through the midfield circle, stopped by Pardo. Salcido. Omar Bravo. That one's deflected. Mexico's getting their corner kicks.
And I think the United States need a little bit more out of their two-point players. Ching has done well with players on his back to try to hold it and lay it off. But Dempsey has been kind of struggling in that position. He does well when he's gotten wide. You might need Eddie Johnson just to open things up and pull Mexico back to allow players like Beasley and Donovan to make those surging runs that they do facing guys.
Corner kick from the other side. It will again be Pardo to take. And he finds Marquez, but he was too far off on that angle.
And I look for him every time. We did a game when Barcelona, I think they were playing against, I was in Japan when they played the Toyota Cup. He got at the near post, redirects it really well at the far post.
It was against Club America.
The 4-0 game, that's right.
Ching held up by Pardo, who's having a blinder right now. Pardo back to his feet. Pardo looks like Ponce de Leon as he's found that fountain of youth. And moved to Germany, obviously helping him in that category, an everyday player for the German champs, as was this man, Ricardo Osorio, who's giving it away.
Good read.
4-on-2, Donovan, foot on the pedal. Dempsey didn't have his legs, didn't have the balance.
And you see a little frustration of Donovan. He puts a nice pass in the lane for Dempsey. You can see what he wanted to do, pretty predictable.
Guardado, the goal scorer, his first in the Gold Cup. Clark. It's Castillo. Onyewu chases all the way through, stops him quickly back to his feet. Not enough venom on it. Easy save for Howard. Although the defense has been breached a couple times by number 21, Neri Castillo. Ching. Ching unable to get comfortable in this match. The U.S. obviously looking for a reliable striker with the departure on the international scene of Brian McBride. And none of these guys have seized the day. Here's that 4-on-2. And Dempsey really telegraphed that one.
And you see Donovan did great. He went right down the middle. Serge had three options. Looked to his right, just played to the left. Big opportunity for Dempsey.
Onyewu. 1-2 Donovan. Guardado now. And that's offside. I think it's our first offside of the day. It's been very rare.
Those two combined well. I mean, we haven't seen Guardado really work with Omar Bravo. He's been working with Nery Castillo, and the runs of Castillo are so good. He's anticipating. He's not looking for someone to show him a play. He's making the movement before.
Beasley, Feilhaber. For Bornstein, who overlapped in the initial Beasley run. Bocanegra gets his hips into that one. Marquez. Ricardo Clark spots Feilhaber. Straight forward towards Ching. Great ball just out of his reach.
Mexico's trying to swarm and block off the short passes from the United States. So this was a good idea from Feilhaber, just to play the little diagonal ball behind the defense. Ching almost got onto that a little bit too far.
The U.S. looking to get more possession. Osvaldo Sanchez just gifted them some there. That one towards Ching. Headed out, Beasley. And Dempsey is going to be whistled for a handball. Bob Bradley still has some options on his bench. And the U.S. are getting possession. This is certainly a good sign as we're in the 57th minute. And the U.S. have already had a couple looks here.
Well, so far, I think the insertion of Ricardo Clark has worked out. He's looked good on the ball. Both sides of the ball. His work rate's been good. He's been relaying it out wide. He's gotten forward, came back on a recovery run and tracked down a dangerous play against Mexico. This is a good move here.
Spector!
Ooh.
Dempsey went out.
Was good, but yeah, Dempsey went the wrong way.
Marquez. And Ching with a little leg sweep. Good enough to get a free kick from Mexico. What an action-packed 12 minutes this has been.
Yeah, see a little clip there in the back. Nothing too dangerous. His foot was very low. Didn't get up above the ankle.
These are two of the fittest teams out there in world football, but can they keep this pace going? I mean, it's been a 4x100 followed by another 4x100 so far.
I think so. Where the United States seem to be tiring is the forward line. Dempsey just hasn't had that, that zap, that energy that you look for. So I think that you'll see a change. Maybe you'll see Twellman come in.
Well, Twellman just ran from the goal area, and now Bob Bradley's going to have a chat with Double T. So it looks like he's going to be the next. So engaging, Bob Bradley, how he has a little chit-chat with his players who are about to come in. He did it with Ricardo Clark, and he's doing it with Twellman right now. In the meantime, corner kick, another one for Mexico. They're closing in on double digits in this category. Pavel Pardo again. Headed out by Spector, back in and wide. Still there for Mexico, Onyewu to his knees. Cleared by Spector. Osorio. Mexico, in the previous times they've met in the final with the U.S. in the Gold Cup, have won both. Play on here. Castillo. Great balance. Marked by Bornstein. Ching disrupts things. Now the cross on Yewu clears it with confidence.
Yeah, maybe one of the most confident actions or sequences for Mexico right here. Castillo, they're winning the second balls. Bravo did well. You had that cross right here. Look at the strike. Comes low, deflects off two players. There's the cutback. Onyewu and Bornstein do well, or Bocanegra does well to stay right there.
Pardo's been close every time. He's there again. Tim Howard spots it. Now he has it. The U.S. still down a goal. We've reached the hour mark. The second goal may just be poison for the United States at this point against an inspired Mexico team that have performed better here by miles.
You're saying inspired. I just saw Donovan break out. He was looking for the quick distribution, and Nery Castillo went with him 50 yards all the way into the left back position.
They are hungry. They want this in front of their public here in Chicago. Here's Ching. Nice turn.
Great turn.
Penalty! Penalty! Ching, who may have been about to be substituted, has just given the USA a tremendous chance. Yellow card for Magallanes.
They get the ball into the pure striker right here. Good turn, nice mobility. Magallanes right here, just clips him, sticks his leg out. Big opportunity for United States.
Taylor Twellman moves back into the box for now, but Osvaldo Sanchez has been unbreachable.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. Brian Ching, how well he's been doing with his back to the goal. He's done a little bit better than Dempsey there. This time they get him the ball where he needs to be. Great mobility, nice turn.
Landon Donovan has 3 goals in the Gold Cup, all from the penalty spot. This could be a historical goal. We'll address that if he makes it. More importantly, it could pull the United States level.
Well, you know, Osvaldo Sanchez has seen the penalties that he's taken. He's been playing them down the middle. I think this time he's got to change it up.
And Sanchez looks twice as big in that goal the way he's played. Big moment here. Donovan, yeah! 62nd minute, the 34th international goal, tying Eric Winalda, and oh yes, 1-1 at Soldier Field.
This is a big goal right here. Big goal from Landon Donovan. More conviction in the way that he approached it. Great finish. He had Osvaldo Sanchez just frozen right at the line.
If you want the Gold Cup, you're going to have to earn it. Who wants it more? This was one of the most difficult penalties he's ever had to convert because he was facing a guy in the zone. And he beat him. 34 international goals for Landon Donovan. He is now the co-leader in that department in U.S. national team history. Medina, corner kick. Corner kick number 7. Standing room only, folks.
They see Donovan getting some indications from Bob Bradley. They're trying to figure out what moves they're going to make.
That one skips away. Pardo's been sensational with the corners.
Yeah, he had too many players unmarked on that last corner. That's the response you're looking for, Max. Now at this point, what do you do with it? Do you pick it up from here? Do you elevate the level? I think that this is going to give a huge boost to the United States. They have to be quick in transition. The insertion of Ricardo Clark in the second half has proved good in the middle of the field. The defense has to still stay alert, attentive, and quick on the counter-attacking transition opportunities.
And what does it say? Taylor Twellman was ready to come in. Brian Ching made that play. Does that mean that he was coming in for Ching? Because change of plan, Twellman's back. He'll probably come in at some point, but not now. Clark. This is such a... Pardon me, Christopher.
Yeah, we don't know if he was coming in for Dempsey at that point or coming in for Ching. I think that Ching, gave you that ability to post up. It's a hard tackle here. Challenge.
What a tough game to call. What a tremendous match between these two. What a great day for CONCACAF. Medina. Bornstein steps in. Very well officiated, by the way, as we're at this point by Carlos Batres, reaffirming why he is the best referee in CONCACAF. Ching. That's going to be, he leveraged himself on Marquez. Free kick, Mexico. We hope you are enjoying the Gold Cup final wherever you are watching.
And this time it goes the other way. You see Ching again, he's got that ability to swing and just that mobility to turn in and use his body, his sense and intuition of the player coming outside. This time the foul goes against him.
Slipping through Osorio. Boca Negra, who was very loud in the first half, but quietly continues to perform very well.
Well, you're getting those great touches from Castillo again. He's done everything today. The way he's bringing other players through, even the defenders. This time Osorio couldn't do anything with it.
this will favor Mexico.
I think Bob Bradley, point you brought up about the substitute. Now it's 1-1. It could go into extra time.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to use that so early.
This is a free kick. The foul by Feilhaber. I think if it comes to a coaching matchup, I think we're in very good hands with Bob Bradley. All due respect to Hugo Sanchez, he's still learning the ropes. Although he's had success, certainly with Pumas most recently. It's going to be Guardado who's going to give this one a go. One of the best left-footed players. Why he still plays for Atlas, I don't know.
And you got 6 players there. Keep an eye on Marquez.
Oh, wide open at the far post. It skips away. Osorio had a one-on-one.
Again, this time you get a different look. Look at the service. The trajectory is a little bit lower, but has more pace and velocity on the ball. He just frees himself. It's Omar Bravo. He redirects it and get the follow-up run. Salcido can't get on it.
Goal kick for Tim Howard. Clark, Dempsey, Medina. Play on, says Batres. Onyewu makes some space. And Feilhaber over the top. Salcido redirected by Clark. Off the back of Feilhaber.
That's good work chasing down from Brian Chink to force the defenders to play out through the middle. You just need to follow up supporting pressure.
Play on. Castillo away from Onyewu, losing his footing is Bornstein. And there's Bocanegra to clean up the mess. Corner kick number 8.
Anytime you get this player 3/4 of the length of the field, he goes at you. Look, you allow him to turn, he's going to just chop his space and just search through people.
And there goes Pablo Pardo. 1-1 here in the 68th minute. Everyone getting their money's worth this afternoon here in Chicago. A little Chi-Town heat. Knocked wide by Magallon. It'll remain in possession of Mexico. Salcido. That may be a goal kick. It caromed off both players. Yep. Initially they said, the linesman said corner kick. Batres said goal kick. Overruled. Twelman's back up on the sideline, as you can see. And now we'll find out for whom. I think he pointed towards Dempsey. Yes, he did. It's going to be Dempsey. Dempsey's not happy about coming out, but good call, my friend.
Well, I think when he was playing right midfield, he got changed to forward. He's being asked to do different roles. Just a little bit off. You see Bradley clapping for him. Of course, he's disappointed. He had a couple chances, wasn't able to finish it. Now you get some new life in the area, but I think Max, Onyewu and Bocanegra really have to show their character and leadership to keep that back line solid against Mexico, because they've been dangerous in the counters and transition.
Mid-air collision. Guardado and Spector are down. And that looked to be face on face. And, oh boy, an ugly scene right now.
Yeah, they both came through hard here.
Spector looks like he's in La La Land, unfortunately. Oh boy, yeah. And this, again.
Yeah, you see both of them come up. The first touch with the inside of the foot just goes a little bit too far from Spector. He's followed. They're both concentrated on the ball, and they come through. That's quite a collision.
Both of them, both of their necks snapped as they fell down. And this goes back to your point of saving substitutions, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And case in point, and we'll all be relieved to see both of these guys get to their feet, but neither have just yet. 70th minute here at Soldier Field, 1-1 in the Gold Cup final. Mexico had the goal from Andres Guardado at the tail end of the first half. And from the penalty spot, it was Landon Donovan here moments ago to tie it. All right, while we have a stoppage in play, a reminder As we do every Saturday, MLS action for you here on FSC. This Saturday, from Frisco, Texas, FC Dallas takes on Houston at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time live. Both players are up. Both look groggy. And I think Spector looks worse than Guardado, but Guardado doesn't look good either.
Well, they both came through and they collided. I mean, the intensity coming through, and you just hope that their necks are okay. Probably a concussion.
For the U.S., we'll keep an eye on the bench to see if it gets active. Timing-wise, it couldn't have happened any worse time because they just made the Twellman switch. And getting back to that, this is a great opportunity for Twellman to really arrive on the international stage. He's underperformed a bit in some opportunities where he's had a lot of playing time. Does have a goal in the Gold Cup. Here he is. It's time to shine. Bornstein. Guardado's back on the pitch. Spector is not. And Frank Simic is up on the sideline, so the U.S. will make their third change here. Right back for right back. And this certainly takes some wind out of the U.S. sails. Bornstein, good looking cross. Sanchez carries it away. Second corner kick for the U.S.
Well, there's great work rate from Taylor Twellman. First a pressure, slide, force a turnover, come back, get a little exchange with Ching is what you want when you put a player in the game. He's also got that heading ability, so when they are in pressure, under pressure, they can play up to him and he could win some balls.
Frank Simic, St. Louis, Missouri, the hotbed of soccer. That's where he's from. He's just 22, plays in Europe at Sheffield Wednesday, the lower divisions of England. The volley! Yes! Yes! Benny Feilhaber! 73rd minute! Benny with his Jets! 2-1 USA!
Unbelievable strike. Unbelievable world-class strike. You get the pressure going into the area. Focus on Bocanegra. Gets deflected out. Just comes arcing to him. Great concentration. Redirects it with the instep. Far corner. Good corner here from Donovan. He's all by himself. Good concentration. Just strikes it right into the corner. What a goal.
Feilhaber scored a goal versus China in a friendly for his first international goal. He's just scored his second. Here comes Mexico. Saved by Howard. What a game. I don't think people here believe what they've just saw. It just got silent. Even the U.S. fans can't believe it. Here's Twellman. Marquez. Mexico played so well, but somehow the U.S. appeared to perhaps going to be doing it to them again. 2 unanswered here in the second on Yewu. And it is quiet here, at least quiet by the standards we saw.
Great ball from Ching.
Twellman.
Why not? And this, you know, you talk about the character, the over my dead body, never giving up, the ability to stay in a game. They get the penalty, they get a corner kick. Unbelievable finish. Now they got to stay compact. You see good work in the midfield from Ricardo Clark. Let's see if the defense can hold this up.
Guardado. Mexico have to dig deep here and find that something within. It appeared things may have been unraveling for the U.S. with the injury to Spector. Second injury. Remember, Borghetti was lost in the first half. And it was festive in this stadium. It is quiet now. Bocanegra. Here's Pardo. Quarter of an hour to go. Marquez. Benny Feilhaber, ladies and gentlemen. Bocanegra. Feilhaber on the defensive end wins one back. Twellman sees where Pardo is and he finds Beasley. for Ching. He finds him. The spin. Ching to seal it. Off the post.
Oh la la. And you see Pablo Mastroeni with his hands on his head, did everything right. Feilhaber came back, recovered the ball, releases Beasley. Beasley with the presence of mind to find Ching. Look at it again. We talked about that little turn. Sanchez stays down. Ching tries to stay away from him, just hits the post. Ooh.
Has Ching turned it on, and he deserved it. Remember, he picked up the penalty, and then this had everyone beat. Had another step, had a second, hit the inside of the post, would not go in.
And that was the moment, and we've seen it through the whole tournament when you can really put this away, put yourself in a good position. But both forwards have been positive. The work on both sides of the ball, great ball from Beasley.
And Christopher, you have a chance to put away, and the fact that it hits the post, look what it's done to the crowd. It's inspired them. Now, with U.S. success, they find hope because of that post. Feilhaber over the head of Twellman. Here comes Beasley. Elbows up. Beasley, second best to Osari, a little schoolyard tactics.
He's been running, eating up the field. I think one thing, Max, with having Ching and Twellman up there, the way that they can hold the ball, it allows those deep midfielders to get in behind them and open up into the points and get wide. And you're starting to see that happen now, particularly as Mexico's trying to chase back into the game.
It appears, as we just saw for a moment, that Mexico will now rely on one of Chicago's own to save the day. And we're talking about Cuauhtemoc Blanco on his way to the Chicago Fire. He's already created quite a buzz for his new club. And here he comes.
Well, I think things have slowed down a little bit from Mexico since that collision with Guardado as well. He's been the catalyst in so many attacks. Now you're going to see Cuauhtemoc come in.
It's his kind of town, Chicago. Cuauhtemoc Blanco up on the sideline, ready to get full value here in the 78th minute. Meanwhile, play continues. Twellman's going to get a free kick. Well done.
They're going to come in from Medina. I don't think Medina had a great performance tonight. He really, in the way that he plays with Guadalajara, normally he gets behind defenders and is very dangerous. Today we didn't see that.
I thought he was the best player in the semifinal too against Guadalupe, but didn't play that well today. Medina out. Qua in. Temoc. By the way, lost in all the excitement is the achievement of Landon Donovan, who scores his 34th U.S. international goal in his 94th appearance, tying it with Eric Winalda. 4 goals back is Brian McBride. Joe Max Moore has 24. Bruce Murray, 21. That's your top 5 all time. He also gets his 12th Gold Cup goal, which ties him with Luis Alves Zague for all-time Gold Cup leading scorer. So a massive goal on 3 different levels. Here's Ching. It's tapped away. Blanco. Oh, and Yehu stretches out to deny Bravo, who was lurking behind him. Lozano. Are the U.S. going to do it again? Blanco. Osorio. Clark rolls out a play. Goal kick for Tim Howard.
Yeah, you got to like that matchup. Osorio in a standing position against Beasley. I don't think he's going to get around him. But Cuauhtemoc slows everything down. You have to be careful of those little runs because Castillo makes the clever runs in behind the defense. Cuauhtemoc slows down with the pause and slips the ball very quickly, so the defense has to continue to be attentive. It's been a great second half from Ching. What he's done, flicked on the ball, got into the area. He's just lifted his game 3 or 4 times.
It's been a great second half for the United States. Ching again. Beasley slips through 3 sets of legs. Donovan! Sanchez. 10 minutes to go. Feilhaber.
Challenge.
Well, in the financial district of Germany in Hamburg, they're rejoicing because they may have a hero on their hands too with the emergence of Fehlhammer. Bofo Bautista is up on the sideline as Hugo Sanchez shows all his cards. Hey, it's the final 10 minutes of the match. Bravo, denied by Bocanegra, and these U.S. defenders tightening the bolts now.
And Hugo Sanchez has no choice. He's going to go all out attack, and that's going to allow players like Beasley again, and Donovan and Ching and Twellman to maybe get some opportunities one-on-one against Sanchez.
In the meantime, great play by Frank Simek. They're all chipping in as he put Guardado under wraps. Jimmy Lozano coming out. Bofo Bautista, whose attitude more than anything else probably keeps him out of the starting 11. He has the skills.
I thought Jimmy Lozano had a good match, particularly in the second half. He did well with Pardo. Now they have to take him out and get into the attack. So Bautista, you got two really creative attacking midfielders there that can supply the ball into Omar Bravo or Castillo.
Well, as I was walking to this stadium, shoulder to shoulder with my good friend Christopher Sullivan, I was saying, you know, maybe Mexico wins would get this rivalry going. And you said, well, maybe not, because a loss, the U.S. public likes a winner.
Yep.
And you know what? You're right. And based on this, if they hang on, folks, come out and watch this team, support this team. They're doing it for the red, white, and blue. And they're going against a Mexico team, really could be one of the world powers in this sport. But their growth has been stunted time and time again by the red, white, and blue.
Good decision from Beasley earlier to play, hold off a little bit. Twellman's been much better in possession, waited. Got the support there from Ricardo Clark. You can see the confidence coming through the team.
Blanco turning to Batres says, watch the clock. Bob Bradley pensive and unchanged on the sideline. We had a chance when Mexico scored that goal in the first half. The Mexican press was celebrating, but there's still 45 minutes to go, and Bob Bradley proved that that was more than his team needed. Obviously, there's still closing to be done, and Mexico do have possession here. Onyewu brought down by Pardo.
And you have 4 or 5. Guardado, Bautista, Neri Castillo, Omar Bravo, and Cuauhtemoc, all very, very high. 5 players, 6 players playing high right now.
Into the corner, Bornstein sails over his head as it does of Blanco, throw in USA.
This is the real test. When you silence the crowd, you got a lot of supporters as well jumping on the U.S. bandwagon here.
Good touch by Castillo, but it was too hot to handle for Bravo. Twellman is onside.
These are the opportunities we're talking about.
But he's without mates. Twellman still at it.
Yeah, smart pass. A little bit too far.
But a good effort by Twellman. If it was a little bit off, it would have been a Super Bowl for Donovan.
And that's where you want Beasley breaking out from the deep midfield, or Donovan going one-on-one, and they'll get through and you'll get that third occasion.
The Gold Cup trophy, a spot in the Confederations Cup, which could be a great honor and very lucrative at hand. Blanco, blocked by Fehlhammer. Wow.
Great touch.
Clark. Magallon. Talking about Fehlhammer, we both thought when we saw Ricardo Clark make his runs,
right,
clearly he was coming in at the half. We said this is probably going to be for Fehlhammer. How smart is Bob Bradley to know that? He pulls out the leader of that midfield, Mastroeni.
Well, it's freed up Fehlhammer a little bit more. I don't think Fehlhammer had a great first half. The second half has been tremendous. And you got to give credit to the guy next to you. Ricardo Clark has done such a good job. You saw the early movement when he had the ball on his foot and he opened things up. He got back. He made a 40-yard run to recover a ball in front of his own box. He's gotten to the side. He's done. His work rate has been tremendous. That's what they needed to solidify the midfield and open things up.
At halftime, he was the archetype candidate to be substituted. Bob Bradley saw something, and what a stroke of genius. DeMarcus Beasley gets a yellow card. We're into the final 5 minutes of this Gold Cup final. And this has a World Cup feel to it. Magayon. Guardado. Simek. Marking Guardado step for step. And doing extremely well. Nope. Free kick Mexico.
Well, Simek stays with him when he made the final cut back. That's where the foul was called. But that was good that he didn't jump in earlier. Guardado has slowed down a little bit. In the first half, he was on fire. He was all over the place. After the collision, he's kind of slowed down. This is going to be a big opportunity, particularly with the service of Pardo.
Time running short for Mexico, but they've got a good look here. Pavel Pardo. Plenty of activity in the area. He goes back to Guardado. Deflected and away.
You know, the one time Mexico really needs Jared Borghetti is on those free kicks and corner kicks. They don't have them.
Onyewu's down. And they'll be tended to. Neri Castillo just banged the ball into the signage on the near side. I don't know what it suggested. Onyewu or Tim Howard claiming that Onyewu was elbowed, maybe by Bautista. We're back to action. Osorio. That time Bravo squeezed out of their goal kick for Tim Howard. Time ticking away. 2 times before, Mexico have beaten the United States in the Gold Cup final. And their only other meeting, the United States won in the semis of '91. Looking for their 4th Gold Cup. Free kick for Mexico. Foul by Twellman. Pardo. You feel the weight starting to grow on the shoulders of Hugo Sanchez. Mexico have really become undone from that Fail-Haber goal. Blanco keeps it alive for Bautista. Castillo works his way through. He gets a look. Still not clear. Bautista over the crossbar. Point blank, and he hit it over.
Well, we've been talking about him all tournament, how he stayed in the game. He keeps the United States in this one. Bocanegra backs up, comes to the feet of Bautista. Unbelievable reaction save right there from Howard.
It was the save by Howard. This is his team, folks. Donovan, track meet time.
2 against 1.
Pins the ears back. His old buddy Beasley with him. Donovan. Beasley off the crossbar.
They see Bob Bradley. They're pulling their players back. They don't want to get discoordinated here. This is what we talked about. They're going to get these opportunities. Beasley and Donovan, 2-on-1.
Give credit to Castillo. He was the only Mexican player to come back and help Sanchez. Ching gets it, 90th minute. A game that will not be forgotten by anyone here. One of the game for the ages here in this series. Pardo. Bautista. 3 times we've hit the woodwork in this second half. Guardado, airborne by Twellman. Free kick Mexico.
No. Throw in.
Throw in?
Good tackle there from Twellman.
4 additional minutes. And don't go anywhere. We'll take you through the trophy presentation. Maybe extra time offside on Castillo.
Again, it's those two. Guardado sees the movement. Castillo has been unbelievable with how he's moving off the ball. And like you said, he's the only one that got back. Look at him slip the ball through. You can see he's well offside. So much on the line, Max. And we didn't talk about it earlier. Whoever wins this gets the pass for the FIFA Confederations Cup in 2009 in South Africa. The United States wants to win it. It's important for them. They can hold on here. Demonstrates tremendous amount of character, their will, and their ability to come back from behind.
Mexico, the long field to go. Pardo. And a foul by Ching, elevated foot there. As we're into that stoppage time of 4 minutes.
There's good work from Ching right here. Again, and we knew they were going to get those opportunities, and again, it was Beasley and Donovan.
Over the top. They all turn to Carlos Batres, but not budging. Bravo dropped in the area.
And the key here is, look, he gets bumped from Bravo. Actually, he's focusing on the ball.
They're both looking up.
Yep.
Carlos Batres, we're in good hands, I tell you, with him in charge of this final.
Well, the one difference would be Omar Bravo took his eye off the ball and just turned and went forward, so he wasn't keeping his eye on the ball.
Castillo trying to power his way through. No success there. Twellman heads it up.
You see Bob Bradley, he's signaling to the players, don't fall back too far. Push up, push up.
Marquez, good ball for Bravo. Redirects it, knocked away by Bocanegra. Little curveball there. Magallon on Yewu.
Now Ching is the one doing all the point pressuring up top. Twellman's just a little bit withdrawn behind him. Here's the ball you're looking for.
Does he have something left in the tank? Maybe not. Does the smart thing there, but looks for Ching, a perfect ball, and a lovely tackle by Marquez. There's going to be a free kick for Mexico. Simic bringing down Bravo, and they're going to have to put all their eggs in this basket. Shift into the area. Blanco is onside. Marked by Clark. Howard. We talked about Sanchez in the first half. It's all Howard in the second.
He's been unbelievable. Amazing performance. You look at Ching, he's just bent over at the middle of the field. He's given so much to the United States shirt in this second half. Great changes from Bob Bradley.
You talk about a guy who knows his boys. That's Bob Bradley. A look at the watch from Carlos Batres. Guardado, one last thrust for Mexico. Marquez, everybody up. And it's through the goal mouth, and what a play by Bocanegra. There's the full-time whistle. The United States have defended their Gold Cup and are the champions here in 2007.
Amazing, amazing second half. This could be one of the best that I've seen against Mexico, actually, when you're talking about good football on the field. They played in Arizona, but I think both teams didn't perform to their level. Today, they both laid it out, opened up the game. Mexico came to play, and they demonstrated in that first half. United States matched it. They matched it, they picked it up in the second half, they figured it out, they solved it on the field. Unbelievable courage, great heart, good finishing, wonderful performance.
Great win. I know we always hear about Mexico and U.S. never switching shirts. Just want to let it know they're not doing it today, but Carlos Salcido did switch shirts with Landon Donovan. So that respect is arriving on that level. What an afternoon. The United States coming from behind to win the Gold Cup here in Chicago. And now it's time for your live free or die hard play of the game. And this was easy. The game-winning goal by Benny Feilhaber.
What a goal. You get the corner from Donovan, the deflection, he's all by himself. Incredible concentration just to keep it low in the corner. Great strike.
And that is your live free or die hard play of the game. And the United States defend their soil, although hard to explain that when you see the sea of green. Great atmosphere here, great fans. There wasn't too much negative interaction. And boy, at the end of the day, they even switched some shirts. So,
and I think the emotion from the Mexican fans, one word, respect.
Yeah.
Respect. The United States deserve respect. They came out to play. They came out to attack. They were positive. They didn't come back into a shell. This was a good Mexican team today. Guardado was fantastic in the first half. Nery Castillo, but the United States came through.
This is as good as Mexico gets personnel-wise. The USA have won the Gold Cup. We'll be back with much more, including the trophy presentation. Back here at Soldier Field, and a match that none of us will forget is the United States down a goal. With this stadium at times against them, fight back with the guidance of Bob Bradley and the heroics of this roster, scoring the 2 goals, including the game winner by Benny Feilhaber, to give the United States their 4th Gold Cup, 2nd in back-to-back performances in this 2007, which was the best Gold Cup by far.
I agree. You know, what we talked about at the beginning was that the United States clearly was the most consistent team coming into the tournament, the way they played, the way they approached. And Bob Bradley has been talking every day about the mentality, Max, saying, you know, our approach, our mentality, it improves every day. You saw it again here. Today they figured it out, they lifted it. In the midfield they were aggressive where they pressed down. It was difficult in the first half. Donovan and Beasley as outside midfielders, that's a pretty good tandem. You know, when you have them, you get the speed, you get the technique, you get the ability of players that can combine. When you get those 2 forwards up there that can also make themselves available, everything opens up.
Those two know each other so intimately. They grew up together through the youth ranks, and now here as senior internationals continue to click.
And I also think, you know, Pablo Mastroeni had a wonderful tournament. He played really well. The first half, you saw his effort. He was fighting. I think he was outplayed because Mexico had 3 players around him all the time, and he always took the initiative, being the closest guy to the ball, putting the pressure. He was probably running a little bit out of steam. Bradley puts in Ricardo Clark, steps up, does a great job in the middle of the field. The defenders got a little bit more alert, more attentive. Overall, great performance.
And it was a team performance. Everyone chipped in, from the goalkeeper to the defenders, midfielders, attackers, the coaches. Everyone inspired performance as they get it done and win the 2007 Gold Cup. And, you know, we just talk about that starting 11, but that different lineup that he used, all those guys chipped in somewhere along the line.
Well, you said it. You know, there wasn't one star. The team was a star. They've had a deep rotation. They've called upon different players to come in off the bench, and they've been able to come through. Today you had Feilhaber, who came from a position, scores an unbelievable goal.
Okay, we're waiting for the trophy presentation, but in the meantime, let's send it down to Mark Rogandino with the man of the hour.
Ready. Yeah, here with Benny Feilhaber. Benny, hey, that's got to feel so great. All this work leading up to this, and then you end up hitting the game winner in a huge match. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting a couple of chances to shoot the last couple of games, and I've been mishitting them. So I just wanted to keep going, and you know, this one I got it perfect. Hit it perfect, and it was perfect. Great game! Woo!
You know, hey, it seemed like a completely different feel in the second half as compared to the first half. What changed that the rhythm, especially in the midfield, got going so well?
Yeah, I think, well, for me especially, it took me a while in the first half to get going. I was making some bad passes, but yeah, you get used to it a little bit. You get used to the tempo. And yeah, I think in the second half, obviously, we got a wake-up call at halftime, and you know, we got the motivation going again, and we knew if we got one goal, we'd have the motivation on our side. So we came out hard, got that goal, and obviously, second goal just came. Yeah, I don't know. I just hit it, I guess.
Cracking volley for sure. Hey, I got one thing to say to you. How does the sound of 2007 Gold Cup champs sound to you?
That sounds amazing.
Thanks so much, Benny.
Thank you.
I think Benny set a new high-five record at the beginning of that interview. as of course all his teammates converge on him after his game-winning strike, one that would bring a tear to your eye. It was that spectacular.
And that really picked up the team. You talked about it, Max. Picked up the United States and really brought down Mexico after that goal from Benny Feilhaber.
Yeah, did it ever. It happened just after that collision between Guardado and Spector, which forced Spector out of the match. And then out of nowhere, while Frank Simek is coming into the game, Benny Feilhaber, the guts of a burglar, comes up with that one, curls it over Osvaldo Sanchez, and the damage was done. The referees getting their medals there as CONCACAF sets up the stand. The runner-up medals will be next, and then the winner medals and the Gold Cup. And we mentioned Benny Feilhaber, the hero. You saw him getting embraced by Frankie Hayduck. He was the hero of the semifinal. You go to the quarterfinal, it's a different hero every match. This is such a good collective team that looks spectacular at times. We mentioned the pregame how at times they try to spoil some things. However, this is a team that took it to them and played the beautiful game.
They did, and we talked about that last little part that they're going to get their opportunities because Mexico was putting everyone, pushing the game, getting forward, 5-6 attacking players, and with the speed of the United States, once you start playing that way, you're going to get opportunities. Unfortunately, Ching made such a great individual play, hit the post. Donovan made a breakout with Beasley on the left side, hit the post again, but they played the game right the way it was meant to be.
You mentioned Brian Ching and Benny Feilhaber, two guys that could have been substitute candidates at half easily, as they weren't really performing up to snuff. Ching was struggling in the aerial game, and Feilhaber looked a little outdistanced with the pace of Mexico defensively. Bob Bradley gives them that second half to prove themselves, and boy, do they ever. You were mentioning this game ends 2-1. We could be sitting here talking about a 4-2, 5-3 match by the end of it.
Which made it that much more special, actually, because that 2-1 is such a difficult score. And then Tim Howard really just point blank. Bofo Bautista is in front of the goal. He's got anywhere that he can choose. He plays in the upper corner, and Howard just springs out with a great reaction save and pushes it away.
One of the United States with the great goalkeeping legacy, guys like Brad Friedel and Casey Keller, and there was a hesitant there as perhaps that lineage will end. No sirree, Bob. Tim Howard puts his name on that list, and it looks like we have a pretty safe set of hands between the posts looking towards World Cup 2010 in the short term, and who knows beyond that.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miller Lite Chief Marketing Officer, Mr. Randy Ransom.
We'll wait for the delegates to make their way,
Of this year's tournament.
and we're going to get the MVP of this tournament announced.
Canada, Julian de Guzman. Accepting the award on behalf of Julian de Guzman will be Chief Marketing Officer Randy Ransom.
Damas y caballeros, por favor.
Julian de Guzman apparently getting the award. We'll fill in the gaps here for you.
Quien presentará para el jugador más valioso del trofeo, Julian de Guzman de Canadá. El señor Randy Ransom aceptará el trofeo.
Not too many fans, either U.S. or Mexican, have left the stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen,
As you see, the trophies are all up there. Let's send it back down to Mark Rocandina.
Yeah, Max, thanks so much down here. I can't even tell you what a match. The U.S. side absolutely jubilant here in the tunnel back behind the goal. And some of the fans not so happy as you might expect for Mexico. It turned into a very hostile atmosphere as I made my way in here to the tunnel. But just so you guys know, I'm undercover now, and we'll get some more sound as the players make their way off. Guys?
All right, solid effort, Mark. And he is there underneath the Soldier Field tunnel. And here's one of the Mexican players. It's Andres Guardado. Hopefully this is just a precaution for that exchange with Spector, but there he goes.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. And both players, when Spector, that was the intensity and the energy that was on the field. It gives you an idea, a glimpse of how these players were playing. Guardado was just so nice to watch. He's a beautiful player. And he slowed down after that. You hope he's okay.
And he may have been injured, but in his haste, he got out there. He wanted to help his team, even to the detriment of his own body. And in the meantime, his teammates are on their way up.
I think there were a lot of players playing on empty. You know, Brian Ching, we saw him bent over at midfield. He had done so much running, more running than I've seen him play before on the field. That's what was called upon. He did it. Twellman came on, added a good spark, made some nice touches, got into the area.
This truly looked like the game that Mexico was going to break the streak, the dominance that the USA have held, coming in 7-0-1 in this decade, make it 8-0-1. Mexico did score a goal for the first time in about 800 minutes and prevented a 9th consecutive shutout against the US. But in the end, the US find a way. Since 1990, 11-7-7.
And we're seeing right now Bob Bradley and Hugo Sanchez exchanging, shaking hands, giving a hug. A lot of respect there for Bob Bradley, I think.
I think we've seen a nice new chapter between this rivalry where the word respect reigns supreme, and things that you wouldn't see in the past, now they're reaching that, and that's only going to make this rivalry better when it's not shrouded in malcontent and just negativity.
Right.
It's going to happen. There's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. But
that's a great point. And I think I saw at halftime as well, it was either Pablo Pardo or Jimmy Lozano that was walking off with an American player, arm in arm, shoulder in shoulder, as they were having a discussion. That was nice to see.
As we see Rafa Marquez, you remember the 2002 World Cup and the elbow he threw, and it brought the Mexicans to a screeching halt, and maybe those things will be a thing of the past. I'm sure that'll arise from time to time. But this was a game played the right way, even though we had 3 pretty prominent injuries. It was played well, beautiful 90 minutes, and we were just very happy that we were here to witness it.
It is great to see right here. The Mexican fans stayed, at least the ones that are wearing green.
Getting back.
And they're applauding the United States.
They are. There was no booing of the anthem. They all stood. And more respect shown from both sides. And these two nations can help each other make this sport grow for both of them.
I agree.
The U.S., let's face it, Mexico should be on par with nations like Brazil with the euphoria that the sport causes down there. And they need opponents like the U.S. to make their game strong, because they're going to play them 3-4 times, perhaps, per year.
Well, this is the highest compliment right here. The fans stay around. They applaud the United States. Makes you think back in the 80s when Valderrama played with Colombia in Argentina. Colombia beat Argentina 5-0, and the Argentinians stayed and applauded, and they said, that's how you play football. Today, it's the same thing. The United States stayed in there, played well, stuck to the plan, raised it, and met the challenge.
The U.S. up on the platform. Frankie Haydock looks like he's about to catch some waves. Unable to play here, but Johnny Spector filled his vacancy well. And what a great sight that is. Many thought it was unexpected when the U.S. went to the locker room down a goal. To the victor, the spoils, the Gold Cup trophy. And 1 year after as we see Sepp Blatter, 1 year after the World Cup, to have games of this magnitude played this well, it shows you this is a sport that doesn't rest every 4 years on the international stage. Everyone accounted for, and now the moment that they've all been waiting for. The United States run through this tournament undefeated. They beat Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, El Salvador, Panama, Canada, and the cherry on top, Mexico. Jack Warner, Sepp Blatter. Here you go, USA, Carlos Bocanegra. And the United States are the champions of the Gold Cup.
A lot of work, a lot of training, a lot of travel, a lot of discipline, organization, all the people behind the United States to get to this point. what I like, Max, is that they played positive attacking football the whole tournament. They never sat back. There were so many teams that came up against the U.S. that were talented in their own right, that wanted to play defensively, and the U.S. had to figure it out, break them down. Even against Mexico, they came out to play.
They sure did. And a young group sets their sights on bigger and better things, if there is such a thing. Right now, it's all about the Gold Cup and a tremendous windfall of great things that will come from this. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more from Chicago. U.S., they're the champs.
It is party time in the Windy City. Get your deep dish, get yourself out in a micro beer, and enjoy your time on Rush Seat. The USA are the 2007 CONCACAF Gold Cup champions with their remarkable 2-1 defeat of Mexico as they maintain their unbeaten record since 1999 here in the United States and extend it to 9 games. Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside our FSC studios. We'll get you out to the jubilant scenes in Chicago in just a few minutes, but what a great display of character from the United States. A side that came from a goal down for the first time in this tournament, put together a scintillating second-half display. The injection of Ricardo Clark really adding the much-needed energy to Bob Bradley's midfield. All right, well, it's time now to welcome in our two-match commentators standing by, reveling in the atmosphere. And, guys, you've got to give your hats off to the USA right now. They came back from a goal down, as I just mentioned, and under a lot of pressure with a really biased Mexican crowd.
Indeed. They proved to a lot of doubters that they could get the job done. First of all, we'd like to thank Christian Miles, Mr. Chi-Town. What do we have to get out? The deep dish pizza?
He knows it too well.
He's clearly been here before, but I wish you were here right now because it's a great atmosphere in the United States. You know what? We always are the glass half full around here. We said they have a shot. Don't give up in the U.S., but there was a point there at the half. You said, is this the time it let it slip away? Clearly not.
Well, it's a character of the team. Bob Bradley talked about facing new challenges every game. Every team's going to be different. In Mexico, they lost 2 players that were very important. His son, Michael Bradley, and Frankie Hayduk, who was phenomenal in the semifinal match. They still overcame the adversity, came out, figured it out, lifted in the second half, got behind Landon Donovan and Beasley because those are the motors. Those are the players that open things up, made the right changes, big saves from the goalkeeper and put it together, and here we are. They're the champs.
And all this talk I remember of who's going to be the man in charge of the United States. Without a doubt, it is Bob Bradley. He proved that he knows his team. He is a player's coach. We saw it down there where he was so good with corresponding with them. Tremendous effort. Right now, we know Mark Rogandino's down with the winning U.S. team. Back down to you, Mark.
Hey, Tim, what an afternoon. I mean, talk about the very end of the game. You guys are up 2-1, but you come up with that huge bonus save to keep the lead.
Yeah, I'm still in shock, you know. It's just one of those things where you practice all the time, and sometimes it comes off for you, and I saw the ball break to him, and I tried my best, and, you know, today was good enough.
Give us a little insight in the locker room, how things changed going out into the second half, because completely different performance in half number 2.
Yeah, we felt like they were on top of us a lot, and, you know, having said all that, they only scored the 1 goal, and thankfully it came late in the first half. We were able to regroup, and we knew we only needed a goal to get ourselves back in it, so we were really calm and composed, and we came out and did the job.
Last question, what about the heart about all these guys together collectively?
Well, we've been talking about for a month how we need to become a band of brothers, you know, and today we talked about not getting divided, you know, and when that first goal went in, we thought, you know, if a goal is going to divide us, you know, we're cooked. So we talked about sticking together, and there's a lot of character, a lot of heart, and a lot of that has to go to Bob Bradley and the way he prepares us.
Enjoy the night, Tim. Back upstairs.
Yes, the band of brothers. Henry V would be proud of this group. They certainly proved that. And a collective effort from everyone. Everyone chipped in, as we said it. What does this say about U.S. soccer and the position they are in right now?
Well, I think it's good that they can go out and play any team really around and play positively and attack and play their game on their terms. And Mexico brought a better level of football than what we saw through the whole tournament. Any of the other games, they lifted it against the United States. The United States responded, so it's very positive. Great
day. Copa America's next, and the way this team played, hey, the sky's the limit. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we'll get working on that deep dish. Christian, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Job well done, and enjoy your time in Chicago. Great times for the USA. Well, indeed, the United States of America doing what they couldn't do back in 1993 and 1998 and defeat the Mexicans in the final of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, moving on to claim top honors in the CONCACAF region for the 4th time in our nation's history. It wasn't an easy path after the group stages and breezing through Group B and taking the top spot. Tough actions against Panama, a difficult and controversial victory over Canada, and ultimately, well, the big prize against Mexico as they get 2 second-half goals after coming back from a goal down, and indeed a job well done. The script now for Bob Bradley has him heading down to South America to take on Argentina coming up on Wednesday as the busy summer of international play continues. But first things first, celebration time and party time. The United States are the 2000 CONCACAF Gold Cup champions. That's going to do it for our coverage. It was a pleasure bringing it to you on behalf of the entire crew. Dave Johnson, Paul Caligiuri, Mark Rogadito, and of course, Max Brados, Christopher Sullivan. I'm Christian Miles, signing off from the Gold Cup.